If you sit on the toilet, bear down, and barely anything comes out. You don't have constipation, you have poop paralysis. And the difference between the two is everything. It's why fiber, laxatives, stool softeners, and enemas haven't helped. They treat constipation, not poop paralysis. But when you do this for 7 seconds, it all comes out effortlessly.
This is the quickest way to clear out stuck poop.
I'm going to show you why you can sit on the toilet pushing for 20 minutes and barely produce a pebble, and how to finally fix it. Look at this model of your colon. See these twists and turns? They run more than 20 feet through your body. Every inch of that 20 feet is lined with muscles. Scientists call them peristaltic muscles, but I just call them your poop muscles. And these poop muscles are what push waste through your system. They squeeze and contract like an ocean wave, moving everything from one end to
Live from the United States Capitol, it's a Capitol 4th 250th weekend celebration. And now, please welcome tonight's host, iconic actor and television star, Alfonso Ribeiro.
Welcome to the 46th annual Capitol 4th. A special edition this year for 2 reasons. First, because tonight we are celebrating an event 250 years in the making. The birth of a new nation, our nation. And the second reason this concert is so special is because we are kicking off America's Independence Weekend with this nationwide birthday party. Now, we've got a great crowd tonight. And for those who are unable to be here in person and are joining the millions watching us at home on television, we know you are with us in spirit. We've got so many inspiring performances lined up for you on our concert as we commemorate this truly landmark event in our nation's history. And in keeping with a great American tradition, we'll be lighting up the sky with some spectacular and patriotic fireworks. And I am really excited because we also have an appearance by 4 genuine heroes, the Artemis II astronauts. That's right, yes! I can't wait to hear about their journey. And now, with the world premiere of his new song, American Made, here is country music superstar, Trace Atkins.
He set a course for Carolina, not a penny to his name. Just an old family Bible and a hunger in his veins, like a million other dreamers in search of liberty, sailing to the land of freedom and possibility. Just a simple man with his calloused hands that he worked down to the bone. Started his legacy when his family called this place our home. Every single seed they planted, turning into the field of dreams, paving the way for generations. Now our roots are running deep, and when that drought flag waves, the anthem plays, I know the price they paid, and I'm thankful for it each and every day, to be American made. Broke their backs to earn a living, hanging steel and blasting stone, drilling wells, cutting timber, herding cows and mining coal. They gave their blood and tears and served in every single war. And as the shots rang out, they never had a doubt about the flag they were fighting for. And every single seed they planted, turning into a field of dreams, paving the way for generations. Now our roots are running deep, and when that proud flag waves, the anthem plays, I know the price they paid, and I'm thankful for it each and every day, to be American made. Now we follow in their footsteps, carry great-granddaddy's name, and being born under the stars and stripes was the greatest gift they gave. Every single seed they planted, turning into it till my dying day. Be American made. I'm American made. I'm American made.
Live from the United States Capitol, it's our annual National Independence Day celebration. Tonight, a Capitol 4th 250th weekend celebration welcomes the following stars. One of the greatest American bands of all time, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame members, Chicago. NAACP Image Award Entertainer of the Year, the godmother of soul, Patti LaBelle. Grammy Award-winning music icons, Kool and the Gang. Country music superstar Trace Atkins. Grammy, CMA, ACM, and CMT award winner Carly Pearce. The cast of the Tony Award-nominated hit Broadway musical Just in Time. A multi-platinum recording artist with over 100 million views, Lauren Allred. Two-time Grammy Award-winning soprano Angel Blue. And a special performance by country music icon Alan Jackson, with appearances by the Artemis II astronauts, athletes from the 2026 U.S. Olympic and Paralympic teams, Emmy Award-winning actor Gary Sinise, Tony Award-winning actor Joe Mantegna, a tribute to America's military heroes, and fireworks live from the historic George Washington's Mount Vernon, featuring the National Symphony Orchestra conducted by Maestro Jack Everly, Shannon Arnold directing the Choral Arts Society of Washington, Patrick Lundy and the Ministers of Music, the U.S. Army Band, Pershing's Own, the U.S. Army Herald Trumpets, the Joint Armed Forces Chorus, the U.S. Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps, the U.S. Army Presidential Salute Battery, and the Armed Forces Color Guard. A Capitol 4th 250th weekend celebration is made possible by the Boeing Company.
This Independence Day, we come together to celebrate our nation, honoring our history and enjoying the time spent with loved ones. As we look ahead to creating great memories, we stand united and celebrate together.
And by the National Park Service and the Department of the Army. And now, please rise in body or spirit for the singing of our national anthem, performed by country music star Carly Pearce.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
And now, welcome back our host from Dancing with the Stars, Alfonso Ribeiro.
Happy July 4th weekend! It's America's birthday! Are you guys all ready to party? All right. This is my 4th time hosting this great event, and I am looking forward to our best concert yet. Tonight, we are so fortunate to be here once again at this iconic location, the U.S. Capitol Building, as our nation comes together to kick off the celebration of our 250th birthday. It turns out each of the days leading up to July 4th were important in our country's early history. And trust me, I did the research to prepare for this. It was actually on July 2nd, 1776, that the Continental Congress officially voted to declare independence from Great Britain. In fact, one of our founding patriots, John Adams, predicted that July 2nd would be the date Americans honored as our birthday. But it wasn't until the 4th that the final document was approved. And that's why we mark July 4th as Independence Day. Although John Adams was just a little off in that prediction, he was absolutely right about something else. In a letter to his wife Abigail dated July 3rd, 1776, he wrote that our freedom would be celebrated by succeeding generations with parades, games, sports and bells, bonfires and illuminations from one end of this continent to the other from this time forward forevermore. And looking at this crowd, he sure got that right. Let me see you wave your flags. And even though this is a party, it is also a time to remember those first patriots, some whose names we know from our history books, others just ordinary men and women. They risked their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor for a powerful idea, encapsulated in the immortal words of Thomas Jefferson, that we are all created equal, that we are endowed with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And so, it is in honor of those first patriots and in tribute to what they did and what has endured that we gather here today. And on a night where we celebrate history, we're going to make some history. Because for the first time in 46 years of a Capitol 4th, we are going live to an iconic 18th century landmark, George Washington's Mount Vernon, where later we will get to see an amazing fireworks display. And in a few minutes, we're going to be joined by 4 special guests, the crew of the groundbreaking Artemis II mission to the moon. Yeah. But first, how about some more great music? Well, our next performers have 2 Grammy Awards, 7 American Music Awards, and have sold over 70 million albums. And it was on a July 3rd, 57 years ago, that they released their very first song. Right now, get up and get ready to dance, because here are Rock and Roll Hall of Fame legends, Kool and the Gang.
Your hands up in the air. Let me see 'em. Come on, yo. Let me see 'em. Come on, yo. Let me see 'em. Come on, yo. Let me see 'em. Say hey, hey, hey. What you got to say? Say hey, hey, hey. What you got to say? Hollywood. So what you gonna do? You wanna get out? Say what you gonna do? Do you wanna get out? Come on, you really want it. You gotta be there. Get down on it. Get on it. the ladies. Ooh, yeah, what a night. Here we go. Sexy ladies, let me hear you scream. Oh, what a night. Girls, you're right one. I'm like that special everywhere. From New York to Hollywood, it's late night and girls feel good. Under this light, your name will be seen. You can fulfill all your dreams. Party here, party there, everywhere. It's the night, you got to be there. This is your night. Everything's gonna be alright. This is your night. It's your night. Tonight, everything's gonna be alright. Down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down, get down. Hey. Come on. To the boogie. Let's celebrate. Come on now. Hey. Let's celebrate. Come on and celebrate, yeah. Come on and celebrate tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming the governor of South Dakota, Larry Roden.
How cool is this? Good evening. I'm Governor Larry Roden. Welcome to the greatest, freest state in a nation that was founded on the principles of freedom. Here in South Dakota, we still honor America, our freedoms, our founding fathers. If you need proof of that, just look up. Above us tower 4 leaders carved in granite. Their image is built to last for generations. Their leadership will not be forgotten. More importantly, the principles and the values and the freedoms that they stood for carry just as much weight as they did 250 years ago. I wanted to read something that President Calvin Coolidge said 100 years ago when he commemorated the 150th anniversary of America. He said this about the Declaration: there's a finality that is exceedingly restful. It is often asserted that the world has made a great deal of progress since 1776, and that we may therefore very well discard their conclusions for something more modern. But that reasoning cannot be applied to this great charter. If all men are created equal, that is final. If they are endowed with inalienable rights, that is final. If government derive their just power from the consent of the governed, that is final. No advance, no progress can be made beyond these propositions. If anyone wishes to deny their truth or their soundness, the only direction in which it can proceed historically is not forward, but backwards, towards a time when there was no equality, no rights of the individual, and no rule of the people. Powerful words from a great leader who loved the Black Hills of South Dakota. Ladies and gentlemen, America is not just a piece of land. America is an ideal, a set of values, a shining city on a hill, an example to the world of freedom. But freedom doesn't defend itself. That's our job. My great-great-great-grandfather came to America with 4 brothers alongside General Lafayette
to help win the American Revolution. He survived that war. His 4 brothers did not. He was the first in a long history of family service to our nation, including my grandfather fighting in World War I, my father fighting in World War II, my brother in Vietnam, my son who flew Black Hawk helicopters, and my service in the South Dakota National Guard. Defending freedom requires the sacrifice of the brave men and women in uniform, but it also takes everyday Americans. It takes elected leaders who know their duty and who put America freedom first. And it just so happens we have just such a leader here with us tonight. We are joined by our 45th and 47th President, President Donald J. Trump. He is a leader who says what he means and does what he says. Ever since he's been back in the White House, it has been like a light switch has turned back on. Now the lines of communication with Washington are back open. Our state can partner with federal agencies and influence change at the highest level with just a phone call. We have a president who puts American people first. He puts American safety first. And he puts American freedom first. It was 6 years ago, President Trump helped bring this event back. And when we took office again, and when he took office again, we got right back to work. And you see the fruits of that work all around you. Mr. President, thank you for making tonight happen. And thank you to everyone here at Mount Rushmore and everyone watching at home for joining this incredible celebration. My mission as Governor of South Dakota is to keep our state strong, safe, and free. Like America is to the world, South Dakota has been a beacon of hope for what is possible when we keep government limited, when we remain true to American values and to our freedoms. Here, we recognize that our rights, liberties, and freedoms are not given to us by government, but by God. And government has no authority to take those rights away. America isn't perfect. Lord knows that challenges will arise. But America has overcome challenges for 250 years and turned them into opportunities. And we will continue to do that by holding true to the ideals of the four men on this mountain. Happy birthday, America. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please. There's one more man I'd like to thank. Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, and the entire team at Interior. And to Travel South Dakota for leading efforts on behalf of our state. Of course, Doug is from our neighbor to the north. So Doug, welcome to the better Dakota. Seriously, ever since the Trump administration took the reins, you've been a great example of communication and collaboration with the states, which makes sense because you sit where we sit. So thank you once again to Secretary Burgum, to President Trump, and to the whole Trump administration for making this event happen. So now, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome United States Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum.
Good evening, America. Are you ready? Are you ready to celebrate 250 years of the most powerful nation in the world? Yes, it was 250 years ago. We're on the eve of that. 250 years ago, a handful of patriots, ordinary Americans, they gathered American farms, and we saved the world from fascism and communism, not once, but twice. USA. Yes, that same spirit, that you're chanting right now lives on today. It lives on in our ranchers and farmers, our innovators, our entrepreneurs, our miners, our manufacturers, our small business owners, and it lives on certainly in everyone who served in our military. And thanks to President Trump, that revolutionary spirit that founded this country, that Americans believe that they can overcome any obstacle, it has returned. Under President Trump, America is back. President Trump is leading us into a new golden age, an age with peace abroad and prosperity at home. The famous faces behind us remind us of where America has been. But the faces before me, all of you and all the patriots watching at home, give me the hope for our country going forward. The faces of ordinary Americans who care for their families, care for their communities, care for their neighbors, and care deeply about the future of this country. In just a few minutes, the 45th and 47th President of the United States is going to join us under these famous faces, the faces of his predecessors. And how great is it for all of us to have a leader who's committed to restoring American strength, restoring American pride, who believes in unleashing American opportunity and ensuring that America's greatest century is still ahead. President Trump reminds us that we're a nation of abundance, a nation of opportunity, that we've been built on freedom. We're a nation that dreams bigger and bolder than ever before. Those dreams that you have, the dreams that you thought were impossible, in this country, they can come true. We're a nation that believes that we can do the hard things again, not just the easy things. But you know what we can do? We can all seize this moment together. Let's make this 250th year, the year that starts tomorrow, worthy of our great nation, worthy of those that have sacrificed everything to give us this opportunity of freedom and opportunity. I invite every American to join us. Join in this celebration. Be part of this inspiration, this country unlike any other. And do it not for you, do it for your children and our children's children. God bless you, God bless President Trump, and God bless the United States of America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump.
Well, thank you very much to the men and women of the South Dakota Air National Guard and those beautiful F-35s. We love them, and I want to thank you all for being here. This is a big crowd. This is a lovely crowd, and what a sight it is. I want to thank Senate Majority Leader John Thune, a good friend of mine, and all of us. Senator Mike Rounds, great guy. Governor Larry Roden, thank you, Larry. Lieutenant Governor Van Huysen. Oh, they're good. I was was waiting for that. They said, you start speaking, they won't interrupt you at all. They didn't interrupt us at all. Thank you. They're fantastic. What great, incredible, talented pilots. Thank you very much. And Secretary Burgum, who's doing a phenomenal job. Governor Ron DeSantis. Thank you, Governor DeSantis. Where's Ron? Thank you, Ron. Distinguished guests and fellow citizens, tonight we gather on the eve of one of the most extraordinary days in the history of the world. Tomorrow we mark 250 years of glorious independence and 250 years of majestic American freedom. Nothing like it. In all the chronicles of the ages, never before has any nation celebrated so magnificent a triumph as this one, the one that we are participating in right now. At 250 years, America is the oldest republic on earth. We are the freest people on earth. We have the most righteous and enduring constitution on earth. We are the strongest and most powerful country on earth. And by the grace of God, the United States of America is the most successful, most accomplished, most exceptional nation ever to exist in human history. And it is great to be your president. It is great. For a quarter of a millennium, liberty, justice, equality, self-government, and unmatched prosperity have flourished here as they have never flourished anywhere before. There is nothing like what we are doing. The birth and survival of the American nation under God is quite simply the best and most incredible thing ever to happen on this planet by human hands ever. That is ever, ever, ever. No other country has done more good for this world than the United States of America. And we give thanks for these extraordinary blessings. We remember that what we have created in this country is not the natural way of the world. It is not the norm. It is the exception. It is rare. It is priceless, and it is truly miraculous. Throughout the entire story of humanity, most people in most places have lived a life plagued by suffering, poverty, exploitation, violence, and misery. But here in America, in this land, on this continent, we have written a very different story. It's a tale of adventure, liberation, and unmatched greatness. It's the story of people governing themselves, the many uniting as one, the men and women rising by their own skill and talent to go further and reach higher than anyone has ever gone before. There has never been anything like this. The triumph of American independence was the result of the most extraordinary people in history, the most extraordinary culture in history, and the most extraordinary ideas in history, all creating the most extraordinary republic ever, ever, ever in history. It all came together for the miracle of July 4th, 1776. That was a big year. 250 years ago tomorrow, what a big day that is. I consider this a big day because I'm with you. I like that too. And by the way, we won big here. We won really big. Each and every time. But 250 years ago tomorrow, the words of our Declaration of Independence sent an earthquake through all of the coming time. They sparked a revolution that has never ended, but still continues to this day. And tonight we come to this beautiful mountain, and it is beautiful, to express our gratitude to those who made it possible, starting with the four men most responsible for reaching this milestone more than any others. We salute the father of our country, George Washington, the author of the Declaration of Independence, Thomas Jefferson, the great emancipator and savior of our union, Abraham Lincoln, and the man who built America into a global superpower, Theodore Roosevelt. These are the men who declared the freedom, and won our freedom, and saved our freedom, and secured our freedom. They were men of action, men of ambition, men of daring, men of destiny, and men of truly great intelligence. Above all, they were great men of history. Tonight, on the threshold of our 25th year, we stand beneath the monument of these heroes, a true group of unbelievable people, and we rededicate ourselves to being a nation as big, bold, noble, and as great as these American giants. And that's not easy to do, but we're going to do it. These men could only have been made in the USA. Their faces are engraved on these bluffs, not only because of what they did, but to remind us forever who we are. These heroes exemplify what is timeless, enduring, and eternal about the American character. And in the end, it has always been that character, our distinct and unique identity. It is a truly unique identity, and it'll never change. It's the ultimate source of our strength and the bulwark of our freedom. On this anniversary, we must remember, we have to remember, we can never forget that American liberty has not endured for 250 years merely because of words on paper. Liberty has prevailed here because of the culture and character of the people who declared it, defended it, and preserved it. These are very, very special times, and this is a very special place. You live in a very special place. Congratulations, everybody. The identity of a nation is the destiny of a nation, and America has a destiny like no other because we are a people like no other. For whatever reason, that's just the way it is. Here, the old world sent its bravest, boldest, and most resilient, its fiercest, most faithful, and freedom-loving. These men and women brought values, traditions, and customs transmitted over the centuries in Britain and stretching back even further to Athens, Jerusalem, and Rome. The United States of America is where the greatest civilization in human history became greater than ever before. On the grounds and granite hills and the rugged plains of this wide-open continent, they forged a uniquely American character, a new breed of citizen. That's you. Congratulations. Congratulations. You're not that new a breed. You're a really good breed, but I'm not sure that you're that new a breed. Americans did not bow before a king or a government, but kneeled only before Almighty God. That's right. These were the people who founded our republic. These were the patriots who fought for independence. This was the spirit that demanded freedom, and this was the culture that built America and carved its heroes into Mount Rushmore. For generations, it was understood that the core of patriotic duty of every American was to pass this culture on to our children and to preserve the nation for centuries and centuries to come. But in recent years, there's been an undeniable attempt to change this exceptional character, to beat the American spirit out of us, alienate us from our history, and to make it impossible to even answer the question, what does it mean to be an American? As we march into our 250th year, incredible, beautiful year it will be, we must never forget there is no American freedom without American culture. And there is no American founding without the American people. Many nations have paper constitutions and legal systems, but the citizens live in fear and squalor. A constitution is only as strong as the people and the culture responsible for upholding it. But as long as we remember who we are, we have to always remember who we are and what we're all about. The United States of America will forever be the land of free men and women, and we will never, ever fail. So tonight, let us say clearly and proudly what makes Americans so unique and extraordinary. We're going to give our country its identity back. Above all, Americans love freedom. We cherish independence, and we know that we are the heirs to the most beautiful land, the most thrilling story, and the most precious legacy on which the sun has ever shined. In America, we do not need anyone's permission to say what we think and to live as we please, to worship as we choose, or to keep and bear arms. You know that. And for almost 6 years during my presidency, I've saved, almost single-handedly, but working with John and some other great people, we've saved your Second Amendment, and I will continue to do so, I promise. Our rights here, given to us by the God who made us, and those rights shall not be infringed. Americans believe in self-reliance. We look at success with envy not, and I say that some people are envious and some people are not. We are not, but with admiration, and we earn it, and we will always earn it, and we will always respect it. We are an incredible, good, kind, and generous people, always ready to help a friend or a neighbor in need. No one has ever given more to charity, ended more hunger, cured more disease, or done more to uplift humanity than Americans, and no country ever will be able to match it. Thank you. So true. Americans honor excellence. We admire boldness. We respect ambition. We are a nation of dreamers and believers, warriors and explorers, doers and fighters. In every human endeavor, Americans see an unfinished competition. What is strong can be made stronger. What is fast can be made faster. What is great can be made greater than ever before, and that's what's happening with America. Show us a mountain, and we'll just climb it. Show us an ocean, and we'll just cross it. Show us a problem, and we will just solve it. Show us a task the world calls impossible, and Americans will get it done. Americans are strong and always ready to stand firm for a good cause. We treasure justice, fairness, family, honesty, and human dignity, unlike societies based on class, clan, or tribe. We see every citizen as an individual, equal under the law and equal under the eyes of the Lord. In America, we speak English because that is the language of our founding, and for 1,000 years, that has been the language of freedom. An American always wants peace and order, but we will never shrink from danger or threat. We will always fight, 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 and win, win, win. We got to do that. Because this is our culture, this is our character. Not every American is all of these things, but every American knows these are the traits that make our country exceptional, and exceptional it is. You do not have to be born here, but you do have to love what we have built. You must love our country. There has never been anything like us anywhere on earth, and we are not going to let anyone take that away. Yet as we approach this magnificent anniversary, we see our American identity under a renewed attack. A generation after we fought and won the Cold War against the menace of communism, there is now a resurgence of the communist menace in our land, including from newcomers to our country who embrace ideas totally opposed to our way of life and our great success. These are not mere political disagreements like differences over taxes or regulations. Communism is a mortal threat to American liberty. It is the greatest threat to our country, including World War I, World War II, Pearl Harbor, or even 9/11. We're not going to let this happen to us. Believe me, we're not letting it happen. Because communism is the enemy of free people everywhere in the world. Never works. It's the enemy of the Constitution. Above all, it's the enemy of July 4th, 1776. It is the enemy indeed. Even while the radicals and extremists attack our incredible history at every turn, they are silent on the miserable history of communism itself because it never worked. Thousands of years, if you look at it, under different names, under somewhat different ideologies and systems, that system has led to more death and destruction than any system ever tried. It killed 100 million people just in the last century alone. Communism is the exact opposite of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's death, tyranny, and the pursuit of evil. The godless communist morality states that anything is justified to bring about inhuman visions and to really propose what's good. They don't want good. They don't love God, and they don't want God. They don't love religion, and they don't want religion, and they won't have it. But we will not let them win. They have no chance against us. They have no respect for law, justice, principle, tradition, or your God-given rights. It's an ideology of mass theft, mass control, mass lies, and mass murder. Such doctrines can be given no quarter. Such doctrines can be given no quarter because the first thing they do when they get into power is turn around and destroy it. It always, just as communists have done, and just as communists have done all over the world, no matter where you look. All over the world, no matter where you look. Communism represents the worst ideas and abuses in history by the worst abuses in history. The American founding represents the best ideas and traditions. The best ideas and traditions by the best people like you, by the best people like you. You can be loyal to Karl Marx, or you can be loyal to America. You can be a communist, or you can be a patriot. You cannot be a patriot. As for those who peddle Marxist lies about our heritage, lies about our children, that we live on stolen land, that we live on that our heroes were oppressors, or that our heroes were something much worse than slandering. They're doing something much worse than slandering our past. They are slandering and attacking our future. They're trying to tear down the great American character, to destroy the people who declared independence, the people who declared independence, crossed to Delaware, who settled the West, crossed to Delaware, to settle the West. Those people are the skies, you know. But we will never let that happen. But we will never. Our American ancestors did not shed their blood at Concord and Trenton, Gettysburg and Shiloh, Trenton, Gettysburg, Midway and Normandy. Just Midway so that a band of thieves, radicals, and lunatics could come in and loot. Our heroes died to win. Our heroes died to save and to build truly a great country, the greatest country ever in the world. The greatest country ever in the world. So on the eve of this 250th anniversary, we resolve and swear for all that the citizens of the United States of America will vanquish Don't let them take too much of your time. Don't let them take too much of your time. They're wasting your time, don't you? You know they're wasting your time, don't you? We're not going to let them take time as they play their games. Too much of our time as they play their games. Into exile. We will send them into exile. Away. And we will continue to build our country bigger and better. Continue to build our country bigger and better. Stronger than ever before. America will never be. America will never be a communist country. A communist country. We can only lose if we allow ourselves to lose the midterms. If we allow ourselves to lose the midterms, if we stupid, are foolish, and unwise, stupid. But if we terminate the filibuster, and immediately vote for the Save America Act, Save America Act, then we will not lose an election for 100 years. For 100 years. We're not going to lose an election for 100 years. We do that. We're not going to lose an election for 100 years. The Communist Party is made up of criminals, illegal immigrants that doesn't want to work. Everybody that doesn't want to work. Communism is a loser. Communism is a loser. And it always was. It's a big, and it is right now. Look at the people that are promoting it. Look at the people that are promoting it. You're going to follow. They are not the people you're going to follow. In 250 years, the free people of this land, the free people of this land with our liberty, accomplish more with our liberty is accomplished. Any other society is accomplished. Even thousands of years as you look back, thousands of years as you look back. What our critics will never understand is that America is not the sum of its mistakes. The sum of its mistakes, us human, our mistakes, our achievements, us human, make us American, our achievements, and nobody has ever had the achievements. And nobody has ever had the achievements. We are the nation that dreamed and created the modern world. We created the modern world. We raised up those big, beautiful skyscrapers, harnessed beautiful skyscrapers, harnessed and invented the light bulb, the telephone, and invented the light bulb, the assembly line, the television, the assembly line, the television, the microchip, the internet, the GPS, the internet, the smartphone, the GPS, almost everything else that has ever, including especially over the last few days, in certain areas, air conditioning. A thing called air conditioning. We invented it all. We invented it all. We charted the human. Cured diseases. We cured entire cities by splitting single cities by splitting single atoms on the moon and planted our flag on the moon. Americans filled the airwaves with our music and our culture. With our music and our culture, basketball, football, volleyball, NASCAR, football, volleyball, rodeo. We love that rodeo of the West. We love that rodeo of the West. Americans have won the most Olympic medals of any country in the world, Nobel prizes, the most Nobel prizes. They haven't given me one. Settled 8 wars, I still haven't gotten it. Settled 8 wars, I still haven't gotten it. And the most world records. And the most we publish by far the most patents. We publish by far the best movies. We make the best movies. And we raise up the greatest entertainers and strongest athletes the world has ever seen. We built the biggest and most dynamic economy. And by the way, dynamic economy today is doing better than it's ever had anything like before. Never had anything like with, as of last week, $19.2 trillion pouring into the United States right now from all over the world. Right now, from all over the world. Being made, and that's the investments being made. The record was 4 years. In 4 years, the last administration did much less than one, and we did 19.2, and we did 19.2 in 12 months. And thanks to our great election November 5th, and the tariffs, plants and the factories are being built all over the United States right now. All over the United States at a number that we've never ever seen before. So much seen before. We're breaking records by double, triple, quadruple. We created the strongest and most powerful military. We won the most powerful military. We won Cold War. 2 world America's enemies in the depths of history. We beat Venezuela in one day. And we knocked the hell out of Iran. They're dying to settle. Out of Iran, they're dying to settle so badly. They want to settle so badly. We gave them a week off for a funeral. Because we're nice. For 250 years, the entire world been inspired to our country and been inspired by the leaps of progress, feats of strength, selflessness, faith, and hope. Selflessness, that could only have happened right here. That could only have happened right here. We were laughed at, we were mocked, laughed at, and a nation in decline. We were in very serious decline. We were in very serious decline. Last administration, what they've done to us, we can never, ever. And today we are the hottest country. And today we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. Everybody respects us. Like no nation. Remember this. Like no nation. Like remember this. No nation in the world is respected. No nation in the world is respected. Every king, like us, every prime minister, every president, prime minister, every president, more than any other country by far, more than any other country. 2 years ago, they laughed at us. 2 years ago, they laughed at us. Now it's only respect. The best, I want to tell you, is yet to come. The best is yet to come. So in conclusion, roaring waters of Niagara Falls, roaring waters of Niagara Falls, shimmering gushers of oil and fire, gushers of oil from our beloved Texas. From our beloved Texas, magnificent fields of corn and wheat, magnificent fields of corn and wheat and barley, the Midwest of our farms, to the vast canyons of finance, to the vast canyons of finance, and their billowing stacks of steel, from the billowing stacks of steel all over our country at record levels, all over our country at the car plants that are rising, the car plants that are rising before, like we have never seen under construction, and more plants under construction than we've had ever before. You didn't see of it all for 35 years. It all for 35 years. To technology from the minds of geniuses, from the minds of geniuses that life in all being brought to our life in all corners of our snow-capped peaks of the snow-capped peaks to the white sand shores of the white sand shores of the Gulf of America. And to right here in the black hills of the Dakotas, black hills after 250 years, after 250 years, American freedom, the American dream still lives, and the American dream still flies more proudly than ever before. Over the people who will not quit, over the people who will not fail. The nation that will not fall, the country that will not fall, the enemy tries, no matter how hard the enemy tries. Tomorrow we reach a milestone like no other. Celebrate with joyful hearts and celebrate with joyful hearts, and after soaring spirits, 2.5 centuries. We know that this is not an ending. We know that this is only the beginning of the golden age of America. Golden age of America. And together we will make America bigger, and together better, we will make America bigger, better, ever, stronger. Before, I promise you that it's an honor. I promise you that it's an honor. Thank you very much. To be your president. Independence Day to all. God bless you all. Independence Day to all. God bless you all. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.
first in peace and first in the hearts of his countrymen.
Light Horse Harry Lee's words from the official eulogy of George Washington were once famous. Nowadays,
of the sacred fire of liberty and the destiny of the Republican model of government are justly considered as deeply, perhaps as finally stopped, on the experiment entrusted to the hands of the American people.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty,
that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
The great fundamental issue now before our people can be taken quick. It is, are the American people fit to govern themselves, to rule themselves, to control themselves? I believe they are.
So first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing
future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted. It belongs to the brave. The Challenger crew was pulling us into the future, and we'll continue to follow them.
At the dawn of the 21st century, a free people must now choose to shape the forces of the information age and the global society, to unleash the limitless potential of all our people, and yes, to form a more perfect union.
I can hear you, the rest of the world hears you, and the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us.
The God-given promise that all are equal, all are free, and all deserve a chance to pursue their full measure of happiness. Full measure of happiness.
When you open your heart to patriotism, there is no room for prejudice. When America is united, America is totally unstoppable.
The work and prayers of century have brought us to this day. What shall be our legacy? What will our children say? Let me know in my heart when my days are through. America, America, I gave my best to you.
The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
come along and help me sing these things, all right?